Alrighty, I'm back. For those of you who are just joining us, we'll get started in just a minute. This is also going to be broadcast on Facebook Live, so feel free to join us there. We will not be taking comments or questions from Facebook at this time, but please feel free to log into our Zoom webinar and you can interact with us that way. And for those of you who are already on, like I said, we'll just probably give it, another minute or so and let some other folks log on. We know the half hour on the half hour is sometimes a little harder for folks to remember. I see Kathy and Regina on already, though. Hi, ladies. So happy to have you with us. Welcome, Kay. We're happy to have you too. Probably give it just about 30 more seconds and then we'll get started. For those of you who joined us for yesterday's Bluff showcase, thanks so much for tuning back in this afternoon. We have some different content today as promised. And if you didn't check out yesterday's, feel free to go onto our Facebook page, Bluff Arts Festival, and you can see all content that we have provided thus far this week. You can find all those videos already out there, and soon enough we'll have them up on our website as well. Alrighty, well, I think we'll just go ahead and get started. I am going to be sharing my screen here momentarily, but before I do that, I just wanted to give a big thank you to Jen from La Posada Pintada. We are so excited to have her with us today. As we said, it is a Bluff showcase, and we definitely wanted to showcase all of the wonderful folks here in Bluff and some really fantastic artists as well. So as the program progresses, we'll get to hear from some of them through videos that they pre-recorded. All righty, and I see that we have some folks on Facebook too. Welcome folks on Facebook. We're so happy to have you. We will go ahead and get started. Let me share my screen really fast. And get our slide deck rolling. Alrighty, well, you are tuned in to Bluff Showcase number 2. As I said, if you tuned in yesterday, thanks. If not, go ahead and go check out what we have out there. We got to hear from Liza down at Cow Canyon Trading Post, as well as some other local artists. Just a note for the participants, your audio and visual is going to remain silent throughout the presentation this afternoon, as we want to have everyone be able to hear clearly. However, you feel free to interact with us through the Q&A function or through the chat feature. Say hi to your neighbors, so on and so forth. And if you're from out of town, tell us where you're from. I hear that we are now an international arts festival. We had some folks tuning in from all over the country, and then we also had a guest from France in a couple of our sessions. So shout out to Sophie. Thanks for joining us. Of course, this all would not be possible without our wonderful sponsors, Rocky Mountain Power, Community Rebuilds, Adventure Wealth, and Utah's Canyon Country. We really appreciate their help this year. And I also really want to highlight our local businesses who continue to support us year after year. We really want to call attention to all the wonderful folks who do make this possible. We're thinking of them during this challenging year. Of course, lots of hotels and restaurants here. Our primary industry here is tourism, but we really want to give a shout out to all of them. We appreciate them, and we really hope that you will, continue to frequent their establishments as they are our community. So thank you all very, very much for your continued support. And what would it be, an artists festival, without the artists themselves? We have some really fantastic artists from all around San Juan County. You can see just a few of them here, and make sure you go onto our website at www.bluffartsfestival.org to check out all of these amazing artists and more. You will be able to find their created content. Some of them have shared videos. I will share some of those videos here this evening in just a little bit, but you will be able to find the links directly to their either Instagrams or Facebooks or websites. You can purchase their art there. We really want to be able to support all of these amazing folks. And of course, this is a difficult year without being able to market in person. And so that's really a big reason of why we wanted to still hold this arts festival this year. We know it's 100% virtual, but 100% free, which is always fantastic. But we wanted to give the platform to these artists. So please, please, please go and check out all of their great work on our website. They're all on Facebook as well. Amanda Podmore did a fantastic job of giving everyone airtime throughout the last few weeks, so you can find their content there as well. But please check those out. And if you have any questions for us, definitely feel free to pop it in the question or chat, and I'll try to answer those as the evening progresses. We also have some more additional upcoming events. For only having a day left or so, we still have great content coming at you. At 5:30 tonight, just kind of immediately following this broadcast, we're going to have Songs and Symbols of the Southwest with Ed Cabote. Very excited and honored to have him with us. I got a little sneak peek of his content, and I am just thrilled. It's going to be a really exciting, engaging night. He is going to be with us for about an hour and 15 minutes, followed very closely by the Film Festival Night 2. This is completely different content than was shown last night. We'll have additional filmmakers present to talk and answer questions after the film, so please log on. It's going to be a really fantastic night. You can sign up still to get your individualized Zoom link on the Arts Festival website. You see there down at the bottom, www.bluffartsfestival.org. So log on there. You can go to the events tab or the film festival tab, get logged on for Zoom. I definitely encourage you to try to get the Zoom link. However, we are going to be out there on Facebook Live as well. So that's another great way to tune in. All of these are free, but we are just so excited for a great night of content. And then tomorrow morning, pretty bright and early, bring your coffee or your tea and join Adrian and Hiroko for transforming earth pigments into watercolor paints. These ladies are both from Design Build Bluff, and they have a really intriguing presentation for everyone at 10 a.m. tomorrow. And then to close out, we're going to have our closing ceremony with special guests Amy Irvine and Pam Houston. Very thankful to have them as well. They'll be doing a reading, and we'll also be sharing some stories from around the community. So make sure you tune in for that too. It should be a really wonderful day tomorrow as well. As I said, still time to go out and get your registration for all of those, but they all will also be on Facebook Live at the given time. All of these are in Mountain Time Zone. Alrighty, now at this time, I am going to go ahead and play a video from Utah's Canyon Country. Their San Juan Strong initiative was just wonderful. They've produced some really incredible films. I urge you to go out and look through the entire series as they highlight, fantastic restaurants and businesses and artists from all over San Juan County. So please go out and check them out at Utah's Canyon Country. The one I'll be playing tonight is featuring Navajo artist Gil Scott. A note for those of you who might have joined us just a little bit later, you should know that your audio and visual is going to be off. We're going to keep everything silent. You should be able to see my screen, but we are going to keep everyone silent so it doesn't interrupt. However, feel free to interact with us through the chat function, through the Q&A. We'll get to those as they come. And for those of you who are joining us on Facebook Live, we're so happy to have you as well. We're not going to be monitoring those comments at this time. However, we're just so happy to have you with us. So without further ado, I will play this short video by Gilmore Scott. So give me just 1 second.
I'm Gilmore Scott. I just enjoy painting. I love it. Local artist, I guess, as you could say, but predominantly an artist, painter predominantly. like to work in water-based medium paints, acrylics, and watercolors as of now. I always remember drawing as a little kid, but I was really lucky that I had some folks that were really had that encouraging attitude toward students learning about art. One unique thing happened when I was studying CEU Price is I started a summer work program with them where I worked with the U.S. Forest Service. My first year I was on a trail crew, but mid-season I transferred onto a fire crew. And boy, that just opened my eyes. I just really enjoyed being out. Once I got into the aviation part of it, I was able to fly over the whole region here. Like I said, the aviation aspect of it and just looking over the whole country and getting that whole different perspective of looking down has really also changed my perspective when I'm doing my artwork. For me, it's just that is the big pull, is the landscape here locally, showing the different, I like to show and incorporate the ties of my culture of the Dene people. I kind of just, being an artist, I just was able to come up with a juxtaposition of different types of geometric designs and colors and just play with that. You know, something that a weaver is probably not able to do with the textile medium. As far as people wanting to categorize me as a traditional artist or a contemporary style artist, I like to tell people that traditional style art for the Dene people is mainly ceremonial work. And nobody will see that aside from the people who are producing the ceremony and who are witnessing the ceremony. And once I start putting work on canvas, paper, you know, it's contemporary. We didn't, you know, our elders didn't have the canvas or the paper to produce work on. There's a lot of beautiful stuff here. From the bears, there's the abajos, the canyonlands, and those colors, like I was saying, they're in different times of the year and seasons. They're just, the colors just stand out. And so that's what I wanted to portray. And then being from the Dene people, I started to incorporate some of the stories that I was taught as a kid. A lot of our symbols that people would see in different art mediums. As I was taught as a kid, my mom would always, especially this time of year, the storms that would come through, especially during monsoon season. One of the first storms we'd see or hear in early spring is what we call the maelstrom. The maelstrom is associated with big dark cumulus clouds you see there. And as a kid, I was taught he was the first storm that actually shakes the earth with the first thunder. And also the female storm. The female storm is associated with cooler colors, more of a calm and a soaking and a wetting rain. So you see those two storms quite a bit, especially on the Bajos and off the Elk Ridge, Bears Ears area. And those are some of my favorite pieces that I like to interpret. And then I started, the geometric rug patterns started playing a part, and I started interpreting those patterns into the rug. About earlier where I was playing with the eye dazzler designs is interpreted in this particular storm, where I've interpreted a maelstrom in it as well. As you can see, I'm still playing with that. Since I like playing with the designs in the sky, you know, my work was titled The Sky Dazzlers. For now, a big portion of my work does just consist of landscape. Every now and then I'll play with a different element. I did a series of birds that they wanted at the clinic, where I did an eagle and a hummingbird and a bluebird, which have significant traditional ties to us as well. And then the big piece that they installed off of a smaller version of a painting titled The Monarch Beauty. So this particular figure here took off on its own. Initially she was just a silhouetted black figure here, and then I slowly started adding color to the skirts. The concept started evolving just to the skirt and her moccasin walking. That's what also became the Monarch Beauty at the clinic. So basically it's where I'm at now, and with the virus coming through, every particular art market that I would normally attend have been postponed, delayed, or even canceled out through next year. So just like every small business owner, definitely struggling, trying to sell work, trying to find a new way to sell work, whether it be through social media or now I'm currently updating my website. One other major thing is I also just work in original artwork. Everything here are the original pieces. I do all the framing and matting as well. I'm really lucky when people here locally, like the people in Bluff, host their show. It's only a 20-minute drive for me. I just pack up and I enjoy it. And the people, the artists, the collectors there, the people that the show is starting to get attention to bring in some collectors and some good artists, and it's just fun. I've been really lucky that people enjoy my work.
Well, really great video by Utah's Canyon Country. So thankful that they let us air that this evening. And as you heard, Gil, you could find his art and more information on him on our artists. Um, on our website at www.bluffartsfestival.org. As he said, it is definitely an interesting year for everyone, and so they artists are definitely trying to find alternate means to sell their works, and so that's why we urge you to go onto our website, and you can find the link directly to his website on ours. Without further ado, I'll go ahead. We have Jen Davila here from La Posada Pintada, and she is the president of Business Owners of Bluff. So we are very excited to have her here this evening. We'll just do a little, neighborly chat. Jen actually lives just a house over from me, so busy woman. But we're so thankful to have you here with us, Jen. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Erin. Glad to be here.
Yeah. So, I've only lived in Bluff about 2 years, but one of my favorite questions to ask folks is, how did you get to Bluff? So would you mind telling the folks at home your Bluff story?
Sure. So my family moved to Bluff, I believe around, I was trying to figure it out in my head, probably about mid-year 1984. We had been traveling to Bluff for probably 2 or 3 years before that. My parents, my stepdad, Charlie, worked for Wild Rivers with Kenny Ross as a guide. And then in 1984, we purchased the company from him. So we came to Bluff for Wild Rivers, which is a great experience growing up in boat camp and getting to learn to love the land and learning a lot of geology and archaeology, as that was our focus at that point in time. So that's how we came to Bluff. We ran Wild Rivers for about 25 years before we sold it. And so my oldest, Francisca, got to experience a little bit of it, but still love the river, still love the area, and that's how we ended up in Bluff.
Awesome. I think that just seems to be a common thread for a lot of people I talk to, is they love the landscape, they love the river. And do you have any good river stories? Like anything that stands out in particular is just like a crazy or something you can share with family environment?
Well, the river was always an adventure. I got stuck in the kitchen, not stuck. That's kind of where I chose to be. I was in the kitchen a lot. I was the commissary queen because, as it turns out, finding river guides is not as hard as finding the people to run the behind the scenes of the company. So I ran the food for quite a long time. I actually started doing it when I was about 13, and then continued on until we sold the company, running the food, running kind of the behind the scenes things. Really good at playing Tetris in a cooler. I think I can pack a cooler as good as anybody can at this point in time, even still. But it's just I met so many wonderful people coming through because we had such great luck with scholars and things like that, and it really shaped my whole entire life, as it turns out, with my loves and everything else. So that was cool. I got to meet a lot of people that I wouldn't have. Otherwise, Ted Jensen came and did a few trips with us, and his wife Mary Steinberger, and it was just cool. It was a definitely different way to grow up.
Absolutely, that sounds incredible, and definitely a little untraditional, but I could absolutely see how that would shape you growing up. And clearly, you loved Bluff enough to stay, so that's great. Did you keep any of that cooking as you came into your new business?
That's one of the things that makes La Posada Pintada unique, is that I think, well, everybody kind of offers a little bit of a breakfast, but it's kind of one of the things that I showcase at the inn is we try to get people out on the trail correct, or in a good way. And so we really focus hard on our breakfasts at the inn. Everybody gets started off with as much of homemade breakfast as we possibly can do. We make our own breads, pastries, muffins, yogurt. We try to do local. We just try to get everybody off on the right start. So yes, I did incorporate cooking. Still love to cook. Still doing it every day.
That's incredible. I have heard very good things about your breads. So Very cool. And you're absolutely right. I mean, gosh, I feel like I need more energy in Bluff just to go out and do all of the amazing things and hike up and down the canyon. So I know your guests really appreciate it. Well, tell me just a little bit more about your business and kind of that transition into La Posada Pintada, if you wouldn't mind.
Sure. So, when I was 18, I couldn't wait to leave Bluff. I had to get out of the small town, um, I don't know, whatever, itch, I guess, for lack of a better word. So I went to school in Flagstaff, Arizona at NAU, and it probably took me about 3 months before I was so completely pretty sure that I was ready to come back home. And I didn't right away. I ended up finishing up in Flag. It took me a while because I couldn't decide what I wanted to do when I grew up. But did come home every summer and continue to work on, for the company, and drug my then boyfriend, would-be husband, along with me. so the Bluff bug bit, and Bluff is a creative place. I mean, as you know, Aaron, it can be very difficult to make a living there and stay. So a lot of us have kind of decided that if you want to stay in Bluff, you better figure out how to create your own job. So that's what we did. We started La Posada in 2011. Was kind of the concept of the inn, and was challenging finding funding and things like that. We found a piece of land that we wanted to buy. My husband is a contractor, and he focuses on Adobe for small contract, but also does a lot of large scale contracting. So he was very instrumental. Antonio, kind of designed the inn with a friend of ours who was an architect, and we finally got the funding for it and got things rolling off the ground and got it going. It took about 2 years for that phase to happen. Then we got open in 2013, so that was good. But at that point in time, where I was going with that was, we noticed that there was quite a need for some more lodging properties in Bluff. Since then, we've had a couple of other players join, and things get a little interesting sometimes. but it's still a good place for a lodging property. And I think one of the things that I love about Bluff is we all kind of serve a unique niche in the travel agency. We have everywhere from low budget to high end at this point in time. So that's kind of good. I feel like we can serve all travelers' needs as they come through town.
Absolutely. Yeah, I've noticed the exact same thing in terms of, like the clientele. Personally, I had been working for Recapture Lodge, and, it's just always fun to see all the travelers that we get, everyone from, the river rats who are coming through year after year after year to these folks who just stop through, they're driving through Bluff and, they figure out, like the rest of us, wow, what a beautiful, incredible location. Let me spend the night. Or like a lot of us, oh, let me spend the rest of my life here. So, but oh, very, very cool. Well, I had no idea that your husband helped design. That's really, really intriguing. How was it? It's funny in the small towns. I heard a lot of folks talking about, oh, you need to be on the main drag in order to be successful. What was the the unique thing about La Posada that you were able to drive your business forward, being set back in that very beautiful location?
Well, that has been a challenge, and all I can say is thank God for the internet. And I curse Google Maps and other devices all the time, because Bluff does not show up well on GPS. But it has been a challenge because we are a scenic highway. We can't put big signs on, and nor would I want to, honestly. I don't mind that aspect. It is a little challenging to get people to my place, especially in the dark, but we've managed. And it's the one thing that I think I like best about my property, and people will maybe disagree with me, some of them, but I feel like I have probably the best views of any in Bluff. Honestly, I never get tired of looking at my backdoor scenery. I was excited to think about at one point in time when Bears Ears would be across the street from me. Unfortunately, that didn't end up happening, but we still have beautiful canyon views and nature galore to view in the morning and in the evening, and beautiful stars at night. So that scenicness and the off the highwayness is great, because I also think I have one of the quietest properties in town. So that's great.
I think you've hit the jackpot. Absolutely. Yeah. As I walk my dog past there all the time, and I just think about, your guests getting to look out, and, and they're just steps away from, just an amazing trail. And yeah, absolutely. Well, fantastic. So, based on your level of comfort, this has just been such a crazy year. But as the president of Business Owners of Bluff, and as a proprietor yourself, what are some things that you want folks at home to just kind of keep in mind about this year going forward, and into next year in regard to the businesses here?
Well, in March, when things started really to go downhill, so it seems, all of the businesses in Bluff were just coming off of our winter season. Usually things really slow down in the winter in Bluff. So we're all very antsy to get March going and up and rolling, and starting to bring our employees back and things like that. And we had just started to get things rolling when we shut down as a town. The business owners were in support of the town of Bluff actually doing a mandated shutdown, just because we wanted to keep our staff, our family, and everyone in town safe as possible, and we felt that it was the right thing to do. At that same point in time, our organization went from being an organization that met, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 times a year or so on a good year, and hosting our balloon festival, to a community that met on a weekly basis. We started doing Zoom meetings and just really trying to keep all of our business members up to date on government funding availabilities, and just the best ways to handle the pandemic and how to get through it. We worked really closely with the county economic development office in getting the word out that once we were safe to open, that we were opening back up, and that we were trying to follow the top of the line cleaning standards and everything else, just to keep our customers and our families safe. That really is top priority for us. So I'm confident in saying that every business in Bluff is doing all that they can to keep things moving in a positive fashion. We all were right up there at the top of the line to encourage our mask mandate in Bluff, and so it's just been great that I think that one of the good things maybe to come out of this pandemic is that maybe we have a little bit of a greater understanding of each other in Bluff, and a new working relationship between our local governments. And I think we're a lot more appreciative of each other than we might have been in the past.
Absolutely. I definitely felt that too, just with the citizens response team and everything. I think Bluff has really, gone above and beyond, and we all know it's a tight community, but I felt that as well, that, just everyone was really coming together to make sure everyone felt very supported. So yeah. Do you know what the future holds? I feel like every week I'm reassessing for myself. Oh, what's next week going to be like? But have there been any talks about, maybe what next year is looking like? If, any of the festivals or anything like that, or is it a little too early to tell the folks at home?
No, the future is challenging always. It always kind of has been in Bluff. But we will continue to progress on, because that's what we do. We are planning on having a scaled down version of our balloon festival again this year. We are not inviting public sponsors this year. We have a few corporate sponsors that are going to sponsor the event, and we're going to bring in anywhere from 10 to 20 balloons. And rather than being a more interactive festival as it usually is, we're going to, of course there's going to be some interaction because it's hard not to. But we're trying to keep everybody outside and as safe as possible. But we thought it was a great way to kind of maybe bring some normalcy back to our community, and give our community residents and the surrounding area residents just a little bit of fun and some beauty for the weekend, because there's a lot of us who really enjoy the hot air balloons. Not everybody does, but a lot of people in town do. And hopefully it'll just bring some good feelings and good vibes. And so, yes, barring any further major COVID outbreaks or anything like that, we are planning on having the balloon festival in January, again on the third weekend, Martin Luther King weekend, which is it's Bluff's weekend for the Balloon Festival.
Awesome. Well, that's so good to hear. And now, while we do have you on video saying that it'll happen, we won't hold you to it. We do understand that everyone wants to be as safe as possible. So we just appreciate the business owners of Bluff, hosting that every year. I know for me, that was actually the weekend 2 years ago that I came to Bluff and was trying to find lodging, trying to figure out how I was going to make my life. And it was just such an exciting weekend. I'm like, oh, the whole world is celebrating that I'm moving to Bluff. But if anything, I remember it being very cold and muddy. So but always a fun event, and of all festivals I think it's a great one because people are able to be outside even though it might be a little chilly. So
right. Yep. The key is to dress warmly.
Bundle up, wear the layers. Absolutely. Well, that's really exciting to hear. And yeah, I think just to give some folks some hope that, and you're right, just as much normalcy as we can. But of course, I know that the town is working, hard to ensure that everyone is safe at the same time. So I'm so appreciative of that balance. But excellent. Well, I just so appreciate your time tonight, Jen. I really do appreciate it. And on short notice, too, for the folks at home, Jen was very kind to jump on here with us this afternoon. Do you have anything else that you'd like to relay to folks at home, or anything else going on?
We're looking, I'm happy to say that our October season in town has been great. That's really good. It was a much needed greatness. And for anybody who is not out there local and still thinking about traveling, we have projected warmer, beautiful weather for November as well. So the businesses, if you're thinking about coming, don't hesitate. Everybody in town is doing as much as they can to keep everyone safe. And it's November is a great time to be in Bluff. December, January, February, they're all great times to be in Bluff as well. So yeah, we'd like to encourage everybody to get out there and remember to support your local small businesses, which is what we all are in Bluff. We don't have any franchises, and our area-wide local support means a great deal to all of us as business owners.
Absolutely. Oh, Jen, thank you so much. And yes, absolutely. There are so many beautiful days left in Bluff. Every day is beautiful in Bluff. We all love it. So no, thank you so much. I really do appreciate your time today. And I thank the business owners of Bluff for your support of the Arts Festival over the years. We really appreciate the collaboration and sponsorship and everything. So thank you.
Sure, of course.
Alrighty. Well, we will go ahead and move right along. As I said, feel free to jump in the chat function for those of you attending if you want to say hi. But we're going to move along. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen again. I have just a couple videos for everyone of those artists, just a handful that have been participating in the artist market. They submitted their own videos. So I'll cue that up here in just a second. And if, like I said, if anyone has any questions or just would like to chat, feel free to jump in that chat box. Alrighty, I will see you all in just a few minutes. Oh, just a quick technical difficulty. Just give me 1 second.
Hi guys, my name is Kyle Nelson Yazi. 14 years old right now. I'm a youth artist, and here are some of my paintings. I like to do a lot of palette knifing right now, which is my media. My media is acrylic, and here is the palette knife technique right here. I do different things to do different seasons. Like this one right here was during the summer. I like to do a lot of things like that, colorful. And this right here was during the fall to keep it like the leaves red, yellow, and orange. And then also hair blowing. Also winter is back, and so I'm doing a lot of that. Which these right here, these are male yetis, and they only come out during the winter. That's what I'm doing right now. And also Be sure to check out my Instagram and my website. And thank you.
Hi, I'm Ed Singer. Shaya Ed Singer da shujune. Na kaidnan shlido shi basus chin. Twedich in it as a shadow tlislan it as null. A cot egot nensle. D2020 Hagi AD Bluff Arts Festival on Stra. I'm Ed Singer and I'm part of the this year I'm part of the Bluff Arts Festival. So please check out my work, and I have drawings, paintings, pastels, and charcoal for at very reasonable prices. You can check out my work at edsinger.weebly.com, and once you're in there, you can click on Bluff Arts Festival and see the work that I have committed to the Bluff Arts Festival. And each piece is labeled with title, medium, size, price, and my contact information. I hope you enjoy my work. Thank you. And thank you to the artists and organizers who are part of this festival, and thank you for the opportunity to show with you. Hakone.
Hi, this is Gwendolyn Waring, calling in from Flagstaff, Arizona. I'm an artist here. I spent a lot of time in the Bluff region working on the San Juan as a river guide, and painting and writing about the area too. It's just been an incredible privilege. It's also a great privilege to be in the Bluff Arts Festival this year, which is just really going to be nice, virtual as it is. And I wanted to share with you a few paintings I'm working on right now. So, the first one is of the Escalante area with Navajo Mountain in the background there, and a nice big sunbeam coming through the sunroof. That was initiated with my participating in the Escalante Plein Air Festival a few years ago. I work primarily in oils on canvas now, having worked in pastels, acrylics, pen and ink, you name it, paper making along the way. I'm also working on a pretty big piece on the Escalante or Wapatki area, northeast of Flagstaff, where things really open up from our pine forests, and it's kind of a gateway to the painted desert. I love the painting in the region. It's just, there are endless, incredible, beautiful landscapes to explore, including our endless forests around Flagstaff. And these days I'm also working on a couple pieces on in the Grand Canyon. So I've also, as I mentioned, written about it all, and it's real interesting writing about natural history of an area and also painting it. Things overlap and merge in ways that I sure don't understand, and but it's definitely left and right brain informing the other part, which is pretty interesting. It's wonderful to be participating in the Bluff Arts Festival. Hopefully Sunday we can all hook up face to face. Anyway, thanks. Gwen Waring signing off from Flagstaff, Arizona. My website is waringarts.com. That's W-A-R-I-N-G. And my books are available at San Francisco Peaks naturalhistory.com. Thanks.
Hi, welcome to my home studio. My name is Nancy Culbreth. In 2018, I moved to southeast Utah, 10 miles north of Monticello. I'm a self-taught artist, and for the past 30 years, I have studied under numerous highly acclaimed artists. having the privilege to live in canyon country, I have developed a series of canyon paintings in oil that just shows the magnitude of these ancient lands. This unfinished painting on the easel behind me is of the Abajo mountain range near Monticello, Utah. Using the Abajo painting on the easel as an example, when I first start to do a painting, I'll go to the area and take many photographs, generally either early in the morning or late in the evening when the sun is just perfect for photographs. I will do a thumbnail sketch and sometimes have watercolors with me to capture the correct value for the scene. I'm currently represented by Printworks Gallery in Moab, Utah, where many of my original paintings are on display. Aside from my original artwork, you have the option to purchase a giclée reproduction in various sizes of my body of work. To learn more about me and my artwork, visit my website, nancyculbrethart.com, and I would love you to subscribe. I'm also on Facebook, Nancy Culbreth Fine Art, and on Instagram, but email me at edgefineart@gmail.com. Thanks.
I'm Ernie Washi. I was born and raised down in New Mexico at a small community called Marion Lake. That's where I grew up at. I've been in the jewelry business for about 50 years now, off and on. This is a selection of some of the pieces that I've made over the past few years. And some of these stones are recent additions to my inventory. These are traditional style jewelry with the turquoise, and that's what I started working with first. And these are some with the petroglyphs, and these stones here are some of the recent addition to my inventory. I hope you all enjoy the virtual show from Bluff. Thank you.
Hi everybody, my name is Amanda Lincoln and I am participating in the Bluff Virtual Art Market this year for the Bluff Arts Festival. I wanted to tell you a little bit about what I've been up to lately. I've been hiking a lot, and so I've been finding these really gnarly, fun pieces of wood that have been inspiring me. Like, for instance, this guy, he's pretty cool, and this guy, it's pretty fun. It'll become something cool. And this piece of wood, look at that piece of wood. She's already become something. So I make them into these kind of mythical or magical creatures like this. Like this dude, this series of dudes. Or this dude here. Can you see his eyeballs? He's kind of hanging out. It's pretty fun. And this guy here. I've been busy. But they're not all mythical. Some of them are real animals like peacocks or elephants. It depends on what the wood looks like and the magic that it inspires. So, and I get my inspiration from definitely a lot of the traditional stories and characters, Hopi or Navajo, but also just from this place and the magic that it ensues kind of inspires me as well. So another thing that's on my site is jewelry, and I'm the rough and tumble kind of a jewelry maker. I like my stones rough, so these are rough sapphires, and I have this one that's kind of all these rough cut stones. So my jewelry is definitely, I'm inspired by this place and the roughness about it. And I've also been painting for years. Been making jewelry and painting and creative. Just, I'm always doing something. So I don't really have one thing that I do. I have a lot of things that I do. And this is one of the paintings that my friends really tended to like, these sheep. It's more mixed media. It's got wool in it and a wax overlay. So I'm busy. And did you catch a look at my kitchen table? Just thought I'd leave you with this inspirational scene here. Sometimes it all gets a little bit away from me, but I guess that's okay. It leaves space for creativity. So I hope you enjoy shopping around at some of the local artists. There's phenomenal artists around here. So support them. Thank you.
I need to talk to you.
Oh, hi. I'm Bess, and this is Lottie, and we are Bluff Babe. I'm Mom, an artist, and Lottie is
Hey, my webtoon
CEO distribution,
Hey, my webtoon
and we look forward to sharing our art with you.
Hey everyone, my name is Amanda Podmore and I live in Bluff, Utah, and I'm one of the artists for this year's Bluff Arts Festival virtual artist market, so I wanted to introduce myself and my work to you. I've been making jewelry for the past 15 years. My business name is Penny Nichols Jewelry, and I use a lot of semi-precious stones and mixed metals in the pieces that I make. I draw a lot of inspiration from wherever I live, so currently being in Bluff is without my home, I get a lot of inspiration from our really beautiful landscape out there. So I just wanted to show you a bit of the work that I do. I'm sitting outside where I like to work. I've got my tools. Here's a really nice 20 gauge wire I like to make earring posts out of. Here's some final products. I got like this amazing pair with rutilated quartz, which is a favorite stone of mine. Got some fun like chandelier earrings. Let's see, just made this necklace. I haven't made the packaging yet. Pulled out some of my favorite stones to show y'all. This is a really beautiful stone called Bumblebee Jasper. I think it just has such great colors, so I love to use that, especially with gold and blacks and gold metal and a black stone. And one of my favorite pieces of being a jeweler is that you get to like see these strands of amazing stones and like feel their textures and how they hold warmth. This is a authentic turquoise I just love for earrings. Yeah, just get a lot of inspiration from the feel and color of the stones that are available for our use. So anyway, I'm really excited to be in the Arts Festival. Thanks for tuning in, and I hope that you like my work and the work of all the other artists. All right, take care.
All right. Well, some really wonderful work there. We are so excited to have all of those artists with us. And, whoops. Getting a lot of, sorry. Oh. Getting a lot of feedback there. I'm so sorry about that. As I was saying, we're just so excited to have all of those artists. You can check all of them out on our website. Please go support them and all the other of 30 that we have. We have, right after this, Ed Cabote's webinar kicking off at 5:30. You can join us on Facebook Live or through your own personalized Zoom link. We also have the film festival at 7. Last but not least, just wanted to thank all of these fun, eclectic, and beautiful works of art that were submitted. And I also would like to thank Jennifer Davila for her time this evening. All right, we're going to be signing off. Thank you all so much, and we'll see you hopefully in just a few minutes for Ed Cabote's presentation. Thank you.